Wow, you've made it to another Thursday. Welcome to Life Alive Bible Study. The word comes alive and it breathes new life. We made it. We made it. We made it. Now, I got to be honest. While you are liking, while you're subscribing, while you are sharing, while you are following, while you are hitting the subscription notification bell, all of that, all of that, all of that, while you are sharing this link in your bio as we begin in your contacts, as we begin a brand new series tonight, I gotta, I just gotta put it out there. I knew coming to this space tonight that Saturn. Now, some of you, you're gonna pick up in a minute. We're gonna drop you off and pick you up when we start the Bible study. There's some of you, you on board. I knew coming to this space tonight that Saturn on Sunday, this past Sunday, had stationed for the purpose of retrograde. I knew it. I knew it. Saturn, time, Saturn, work, which means I'm just going to give this while you're sharing, while you're liking, while you're inviting people to come in. Things may take a little bit more effort right now than in the past. Now, I'll let you know when Saturn goes direct again. But anyway, and several of you have been asking, when am I going to do a simple teaching on this from my book, God, Astrology, and the Bible? It's coming. I have to get the release, not being deep, but it's coming. But I knew Saturn had stationed, standing still in the sky. Everything coming up to this space tonight is effort. And one of the things that I want to prophetically, even outside of the astrological alignments, is avoid high levels of frustration over the next couple of weeks. Because what happens when Saturn does, I'm not talking about that tonight. I'm waiting for you to invite. I'm waiting for you to like. I'm waiting for you to let the algorithms know, get this out there for more people to hear. Whenever Saturn stations or even goes retrograde, because Saturn is work, it's time, it's karma, it's putting in the effort. It's simply easier, like leading up to this space tonight. That's why I'm glad I'm awake. Why I'm glad I'm knowledgeable. That's why I'm glad I'm conscious. I didn't fall into the frustration trap. Everything that could have gone wrong, Murphy's Law would have, did, but I knew, and I kept saying to myself, I kept saying to Spirit, I'm not falling for the trap. Know what it is. It's trying to frustrate me, to zap my energy so I could come to this place not prepared, but oh, am I ever prepared? Because I harnessed my energy. I harnessed my level of frustration so that I wouldn't get like a lot of people get when they get frustrated. So that's all I'm saying. But we're here. Let me do this. I see a glare, though I like these. All right. I don't like a glare. I want you to see it in my eyes. All right. Did you like? Did you subscribe? Did you go to the website, www.wakeupglobalnetworks.com? If you're brand new, we want to say, welcome, 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 welcome. Go to all of our social media pages, Wake Up Global Media, Wake Up Global Media. Thank you for joining us, Wake Up Global TV. All we ask as a baby channel is that you subscribe. We have a plethora of content. And then, of course, you can go into my Patreon. Information is on the screen. Information is on our website. I'm going to be spending a lot more time in my Patreon in the fall. I've been kind of testing it. It's a lot of work. to do and not get the kind of support. I'm just built like that. I need to see results. That shows you that I have a Saturn rule chart. Here I go again. A Saturn rule chart. I have to see results in order to continue to be productive in anything. That's how Saturn ruled people are, right? But anyway, I'm going to be spending more time in, since we're getting more members in my Lit Patreon, let you know that beginning September, I'm going to be spending more time in Patreon and dropping exclusive information that is inside of me that I have to get out of me. But I know those who are willing to subscribe to Patreon, you're ready for it. Else you would not subscribe to me. Okay? So like, share, subscribe as we prepare to begin this brand new series tonight. Don't forget, next Sunday, you saw the promo. We're taking a sabbatical from the Awakening Experience in the month of August, and then we're going to come back in September and be ready to roll with that theme of the Father. Remember that? The Father's blood. You got it from your daddy. They say I got it from, the song says you got it from your mama, but you really got it from, I know it took both, but if you want to see the intro, go into Patreon. That last one was placed into Patreon, as always, are the Awakening Experience. If you can't make it live, join Patreon and you'll get it in our Patreon. But it's live, except August, every second Sunday of the month, 12 noon, streaming live. You don't need a passcode. Log on to Wake Up Global TV, or you can say, send me an invite, and you'll get the invite each and every month. I am excited. All right, let's bring it in. Into the place. This is a safe place. It's been a rough and a challenging. It's been a challenging 2 weeks, right? Of course it has been. That's okay. We're at a safe space right now to release all of that, release the fear, release the anxiety, release the tension, and feel the presence of the Spirit washing you and bathing in His presence. So we come to this place tonight, whole, healthy, so healthy that we make right decisions and are moving in the name of Jesus. So be it. Tonight, I want to begin a series that I have been plugging away at for the last probably 2 months. And you know, when I begin any new series, I spend time with the first part called the introduction, where I introduce series, why the series, what gave birth to the series, and where we expect to go in the series. Don't forget to continue liking, subscribing to the channel, and sharing this. For those of you who are just coming in, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're at a good place. For those of you who are watching the replay, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are also at a good place. So this tonight we begin, and I hope you've been blessed by the series, When God Makes You Uncomfortable, and talking about season changes and how to reposition yourself. We spent probably 3 months or more on that. So you can always go back and get that on this channel. And if you have not done so, I believe you will be blessed. And moreover, highly positioned if you follow some of the instructions that were given in that series, highly positioned to be successful in this global transition everybody is feeling, and that we will continue to feel for the next 2 years, probably until mid 2028, because the world is shifting, the world is changing, and so must we. But anyway, we completed that series. But in the middle of that series, the Spirit began to deal with me because of some of the things as a mentor, as a counselor, as one that people confide in and look to for some type of guidance. I began to ask myself the question, how is it that we are trained to make things in our life. Now, if you're like me, that's brand new. When Spirit introduced that to me, I had never heard that before. And I heard in my spirit teach a series on the psychology of decision making. That's what this series is called. This is the intro, the psychology of decision making. Now, where are we going with this? Let's talk a little bit about what that means. Every one of us every day makes major decisions. As a matter of fact, our life, your life, my life, share this, is a product of our decision making. Remember, in the scripture, Jehovah says, I set before you death and life, choices. Choose life. I'm not going to choose for you. Choose life. Every day, you and I have to choose decisions that will push us further ahead or further behind. This is how important this series is. I want you to hear this. We are the product of our decisions. We are not the victims of other people's actions in our life. You and I, D. Foster 3, am the product, even if I were to be influenced by others. After the age of accountability, after the age of awareness, and that is different for everybody, after the age of consciousness, then it becomes my responsibility to make a quality decision, not under pressure, not under duress. And I'm going to talk about all of this, not under stress, but with a healthy psychology. Here it is. When you find a person, people, making a lot of bad decisions, now, disclaimer, we all make bad decisions. We all make decisions we wish we would not have made. We all make and will continue to make decisions that will push us backwards. But as we learn, as we awaken, as we become conscious, those decisions should be less and less. And the only way, hear this, that those decisions become less and less as is if I'm making those decisions, and I'm talking about those life-altering decisions, on a healthy psychology, not a trauma-based psychology. And I'm going to talk all about this, like this, share this. You don't want to miss one Thursday night. And when I say a healthy decision, when I say a psychology of decision making, I'm not talking about whether you get a hot dog or a hamburger. I'm not talking about whether you get a Chevy or a Ford. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things like, and this is what I run into with my mentees and those who I counsel, who I marry, who I go into business, whether I move out of state, whether I get a divorce, whether I stay married, those life-changing decisions, those decisions that once made can alter the trajectory of our life. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about whether you go to a movie or go skating. I'm not talking about that, right? We all make those decisions. We all fumble over. I'm talking about those life-altering decisions that can change our life for the better or set us back. Those decisions have to be made by us from a healthy psychological position. And one of the things that I found, and there are several bases by which we make decisions. So I'm not going to say it's one thing when I get into this. It won't be one thing, but it won't be a whole lot of things that will lead to a healthy. I set before you death and life. Choose. Now, you hear that, and you would say it would be obvious. to choose life. And I'm going to tell you, it should be obvious, but the choosing of life, or the choosing that will push you and I forward, that's when I say life. Death is a choice that destroys us, that hinders us, that tethers us. That's what I'm saying, death and life. Life is the choice, and I'm going to get into all of this. I'm just introducing this tonight. Share this. You don't want to miss a Thursday night. You don't want to miss it, because and especially moving forward with this global shift, there are a lot of major choices that we're going to have to make, and they're going to be life-changing. Some of you are going to make choices whether to stay in your current geographical location or move. That's life-changing. If you stay, you fail. I'm just saying, if you move, you prosper. If you move, you fail. If you stay, you prosper. What? And I know we have to be spirit-led. That a given. But our part is to make it out of a healthy psychology, and not a trauma-driven psychology, not an emotional psychology, not a survival. I'm going to get into all of this, but I'm introducing. And so as we look back, many of us say, why did I do that? Ask the question. You want to ever know why? Go further and ask the question. What was my psychological mindset when I made that decision? Was I lonely? Was I desperate? Was I fearful? Was I traumatized? Was I competing? All of that. And none of those are the basis of making the proper decisions that would move us forward. Behold, I set before you death and life. Choose. Practice your choice, the greatest gift you and I have. But I will only choose based on my current psychological status. That's why you can tell when us are psychologically off, because of the decisions that we make. Growing up, I never heard the connection. And so in this series, we want to examine all of the prior reasons we made life-altering decisions. And we're going to examine those. And then we'll come back and examine some of the healthy ways how we should be making life-altering decisions based on a healthy psychology, a healthy mindset, a healed mindset. Most of my bad decisions were made during a time of brokenness. Because when you're broken, come on, share this. You look for relief, and sometimes just a change, or do something. I need out of this current state. And I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about us. Share this. The psychology of decision. In this season, we owe it to ourselves, to our seed, to our work, to our legacy, to make the best decision. You won't always make the right one. That's what I'm not saying that. But this season, we owe it to everyone we are connected to and connected to us to make the best possible decisions we are. This will be big, because our life and their life depends on our life, and their life depends on. So I want you to get everybody you know, get ready for next week. Next Thursday, we dive into this. Get June in them, get your mom in there, and this is not age restricted. This is not race. This go everybody, every one of us, because we're all making decisions every moment of the day. But for what? Psychology. Healthy? Because if not, we will do what most people that I run into do. When you make numerous on top of bad decisions, on top of bad decisions, on top of bad decisions, then you find yourself, and this is a terrible place to be, in a place called the Valley of Regret. And then once you're in the Valley of Regret, then you become the victim. You no longer take responsibility for your act. Then you begin to blame. And you know that's a downward. You know that's when it's not over. Unless somebody pulls you by the collar and say, take responsibility. See, there's power in taking responsibility. That's why it's never what they did. Even if they were the culprit, is what I allow them, because D. Foster 3 will always take control of his life and never yield the power of my life to anybody, because I will never, ever, 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 ever be a victim. Will always be victorious and do the work, put in the work, make the changes, learn from it, grow, and move on. That's healthy. That's when you can make right decisions. Never make right decisions. Anyway, I'm getting into it. Spirit, we hear you. We're primed. We are ready to go. Thank you for this revelation. Bless this series. It's already blessed. Thank you for those who'll be watching. And now we thank you for growth and development. In Jesus' name. Don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe, to follow. And if you feel very generous, drop a seed gift on a brother's ministry. Wake Up Global Networks International. Incorporated. Sow a seed. If you've been blessed and you've never sown, I challenge you tonight. No gift is too large, and of course, none is too small. Whatever the Spirit lays on your heart, and if you're getting fed, only if you're getting fed, only if this is good ground to you, please consider sowing a seed. The information is on the screen. Until next week, y'all, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. The psychology and decision making. It's going to be life-changing. Thank you. Enjoy the weekend. Don't forget Sunday. We'll be looking for the Awakening Experience. We're coming back strong in the month of September. But visit often Wake Up Global TV. We're always dropping new content, whether I'm dropping a promo, whether it's the Voice of Hope Connection with V. You never know. You never know. And of course, want to go deep with me? Join Patreon. Lit. Until next week, this is D. Foster 3 saying peace. I love you. I appreciate you. And we on the right road of decision making. Peace.